Welcome everybody to the video here. We're going to talk about equipment. We're going to talk about equipment in this video. Yes.
So as you know from the webinar, we hope you enjoyed the webinar, by the way. It was very, very fun to do.
Super fun.
Super, super fun. And we're grateful that you decided to carry on and move into the premium content. So we're going to talk about, I'm sure your curiosity was spiked about how we are able to do our podcasts on the go, completely mobile. This is the studio, of course, but we don't like to limit ourselves to the studio.
Exactly. It makes it especially ideal for guest episodes.
Yes.
You can go straight to your guests as opposed to having them come to you and having them come to the studio here. So it's great to get that mobile capability.
Yes, it is. It definitely is. So we're going to highlight how we do that. It sounds studio quality when we're out and about.
Mm-hmm.
We have amazing equipment that we've invested in, and we've kind of kept it kind of secret up until now.
Yeah,
we have.
yeah.
We haven't really disclosed it, and it really hasn't been on purpose. We've kind of just not felt there was a need to, but we've gotten a lot of inquiries about what we use, how we do it. So we decided that we would include this.
We're going to share our magic with you.
Yes.
Share our magic.
And the equipment we use is pretty dang close to magic to me.
Absolutely. It's pretty much like cavemen looking at fire.
Right.
That was one of the terms we used when we first came across some of this stuff. And it's absolutely incredible. Again, we get this sound studio quality anywhere, anytime. It doesn't matter. It's absolutely incredible. So let's jump right into it. We'll show you mics. We'll show you interfaces, all that stuff that we use for all of this.
I wanted to highlight also real quick that we spent months upon months upon months. We had a desire to go mobile.
Right.
We spent months searching for a solution. We were talking about getting, we had a laptop, and then we're talking about getting a mixer. Then, if you have a laptop and a mixer, you have to have a power source.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about getting portable power sources and hauling all of this luggage around. And if this is a question you've had about how to take, if you're already doing a podcast or you want to start a podcast and be mobile, this will definitely be valuable to you because that's probably some of the same things you're thinking right now too. It's like, well, how am I going to do it? There is a solution out there.
And we're going to show it to you.
We'll jump right into it. All right, guys. So if you are recording in a studio setting, going with something like this is a real cheap option. You could probably pick these up for about $50 now. This is the Yeti Blue mic, and this is what they call a proximity mic. And what this will do is it'll pick up the surround sound. It'll pick up a lot of what's in the room. So you're very limited as to where you can record with something like this because you need it to be pretty tone deaf around you. You don't want a lot of background noise, and this thing is going to pick up background noise like a monster. So this is a good option. Don't get me wrong, it's an amazing mic. We've recorded with this many times, but it's not going to give you that portability. It's not going to give you, if you don't have a real quiet surrounding, it's not going to give you really good podcast quality. You have to have it pretty quiet. And then also, if you do go with something like this, you're going to need a pop filter, which is also another investment, right? So these run about anywhere from $15 to $20, and you're going to need a pop filter because this thing picks up pops like a monster as well. So we have a solution to all of these issues. This is what we've decided to go with, and it's amazing. It's amazing. So this is the Audio Technica BPH S1 headset. We invested in this, like I said, so we can go mobile. We can take this podcast out and about. We can come to our guests, which is super, super important. The really cool thing about this is the audio quality. It is amazing. It is equal to, if not better, than the Yeti, the Blue Yeti mic. But this is actually a little different. If you wanted to go with a podcasting mic, stationary podcasting mic, it would be USB, typically. And that would be the easiest way to do it. But right here, as you can see, this has a cord that comes off of the headset, and it is interchangeable. So we can unscrew the little bolt here and replace the cord if it ever becomes damaged. And at the end here, it breaks off into the 1/4 inch jack and the XLR jack. And what these will be used for is the XLR will be used for the audio input, and the 1/4 inch will be used for the audio output. So basically, when you have these on and you're recording, and they are on your head like this, it cancels out the noise really, really well. So you're not going to be able to hear the conversation that's taking place within the podcast. So you need this 1/4 of an inch to have the audio inputted back into the headset so you can monitor and hear the conversation. This does take a little bit of time to get used to if you're not used to recording audio in this manner, but it's excellent. It's excellent. It keeps you involved, and it keeps you included in the conversation on a deeper level. I think I've found that I'm able to concentrate a lot more without the distractions going on around me. Now, this doesn't even go into how we are able to actually record the audio, and that's the problem that a lot of people run into. So we're going to reveal to you here in a second what device we actually use to record our audio. Okay, everyone. So this is what I like to refer to as a little piece of magic. We had no idea that something like this existed when we first started, but this is an all-inclusive solution to record portable audio, and it is amazing. So as I mentioned before, we were talking about getting a mixer, a laptop, a power source, and dragging all this stuff around with us. As you can see, this thing fits into a tiny carrying case. It is amazing. This is the Zoom H6. So we'll get back in here and I'll show you what this thing can do. It's amazing. So basically, this is everything it comes with. This thing runs about $450, but it is the best option if you want to record mobile. And what this thing is, it's basically battery powered. So it'll take 4 AA batteries, and these things last a long time. So a bit of a continued investment there, but it's not much of anything. So once you have this thing, I'll show you what this can do. So we'll take the little safety plastic out here. First and foremost, what I want to show you is the capabilities that it comes with. So this right here is a directional mic, and this is a proximity mic right next to it. And each one of these have an independent gain gauge on them, so you can turn it and select how much audio you want this thing to pull. So what you can do here is you just plug this into the top, and it fits right in there like this. And these little secure fasteners on the side, this is how you will dislodge the mic from the unit. You'll push these in, and then you'll be able to just get it back out. But you push this in, and this acts as a independent audio track. So when this mixes down, this will actually record for you too. So let's fire it up. The resolution on the screen is pretty good. So it looks like we don't have an SD card in right now, but the cool thing about this is it actually comes with an SD card. Looks like the pop filter fell down. Okay, so an SD card comes with it, and it comes with micro as well. So you can actually record to this thing, pop it out, and plug it into your phone and play back on your phone. So this comes with a micro SD, and you'll be able to just slide it in here like that. And then you'll turn this to the side here, use your nail to get that out, and then you can just slide this in there like that. Just clicks in, and you're good to go with the SD card. So what we'll do is we'll do a test real quick. I just want to show you. And this is how you'll select it. So each one of these, this right here, it works for the attached mic, and that's on its single track right here. So now we have the attached mic, and as you can see, as I speak, it's registering on very vaguely. Let's turn it this way so you can see. Can you see it better now? So it is registering on the screen as I speak. And then what we've done, we'll go into this a little bit more later, but what we've done is we actually plugged the XLR of our Audio Technica headsets into that. That way we're able to record, listen in real time, and it works perfectly, you guys. So we'll do a little test here. All you do is hit the record button like that. As you can see, it says it's recording there. And and we'll do a test. This is a test, this is a test. So then you stop it, and then you can play it back right on here. So we'll make sure the volume is all the way up on this thing so you guys can hear it. So play it back like that. As you can see, it says it's recording there. And we'll do a test. This is a test, this is a test. So then you stop it. As you can see, it works beautifully. So this is a really good option. And as I said, you can control the gain right here on the mic in real time. This is a great option if you want to be mobile, if you want to go out, if maybe you're doing some interviews and you just want to be able to interview people, right? This works perfectly. It's battery operated. We have the batteries in this thing last amazingly long. It's crazy how long they last. But we'll get into showing you some demonstrations with the headsets, how that all works, because there's a little bit of extra things you need to purchase to integrate the headsets with this, so it'll work perfectly. So following up with the last piece we shot, just wanted to say real quick here, this is a pop filter, and what this will do is you can just slide it over the top here, and you can still, as you can see, they cleverly cut it off just where you can still monitor the gain and alter the gain, which is awesome. The Zoom is genius with what they've created here. So we're going to show you how to connect the headsets. And like I said, what we'll do is when we do an interview episode, we will connect this, we'll hook this up to the tripod right there and put that in front of our guest. So then they can speak directly into this thing, and then we're speaking into these Audio Technica headsets. The way we have this hooked up is amazing. So what you'll do, now again, the XLR portion of the headset, this is on the end of the cord here, is for the audio input. So as you can see, this is number 1. This is track 1, track 2, track 3, track 4. Okay, so we turn it on the side here. You can see the XLR plugins. So what you'll do is you'll plug this in here, and this will only give you the audio input. So what you'll need to invest in, what we've done here, is we've gotten an auxiliary, a 1/4 of an inch to auxiliary. So the female plug-in is 1/4 of an inch, as you can see here, and the male end is the auxiliary. And this will only accept auxiliary output sources. So what you'll do is you'll just plug it right into this splitter here, and this splits into 2 1/4 of an inch. And then what you'll do here is just put it in here to the little headphone auxiliary port. You'll stick it in there like that. And then what you'll do with the other end here, so this is so you can monitor the audio that's playing back in the headset. You'll just plug it in here. And we do this with 2 of the Audio Technica headsets. We plug the other XLR in here and then plug the 1/4 of an inch in here. So we can all monitor in real time, except for the only person that will not be able to do this is the guest. But you can also do various integrations with however you want to do this. You can split it off again. You will lose some of the quality of the audio in the playback the more you split this off. So just keep that in mind. But you could hook your guest up with a pair of headphones too. If you only have 2 of these things, you can have one person with one of these things monitoring the audio in real time. There's a lot of different variations you can do here. So what we do now is, now that we have all of this connected, look at this cord up here. Another thing I like about this is these cords are super, super long. So you can get pretty far away from the Zoom and not have to worry about much. So you just put this on like this, and I can't hear you very well. Can't hear my surroundings very well, but this is what it looks like. This is the setup we have now. And then what you'll want to do to ensure that everything is being recorded is you'll want to switch this on, which will, the reason this says left and right, the L and R stands for left and right, is this is actually recording in a stereo track. And this just does that by default. And then these independent XLRs will record in a mono track, but it still works all the same. It doesn't really matter. It's just the way that it's all set up by default. So to ensure that you are recording, and right now there's no input from this headset. So for me to have input from the headset, I will just press the number 1 here, signifying, whoa, I need to turn my gain down because I just blew my eardrums out. But I can hear myself now as I speak. And then if I were to turn this off, check this out, turn this off. If I speak into this, I can hear myself as well. So the audio is not being picked up from this, it's being picked up from the stereo track on the end here. Amazing, amazing. So we'll switch this back on, and then, once it's on, you're able to record, and I'll set this down right here just so you guys can hear the quality of this. We'll play it back real quick. So record, we'll do a test. I am doing a test into the Audio Technica right now. I can hear myself, and it is also being recorded. So we'll stop it, and then we'll take these off like this, and we'll unplug this so we can listen to the playback through the Zoom instead of... Another cool thing is you can listen to playbacks through the headsets as well. But we'll unplug it so the playback will come through the Zoom, the mic on the Zoom. So we'll turn it up, play it back. I am doing a test into the Audio Technica right now. I can hear myself, and it is also being recorded. So we'll stop it. That's how well it works. This thing is amazing, and I would not recommend anything else if you want to go mobile. Okay, so you guys have just seen all of the in-your-face capabilities of this thing. The things that you would really immediately dive into when you first pick up the Zoom H6. But what I wanted to show you was some of the hidden tips and tricks that this thing can do. That's right, it can do more. So one of the biggest things that that a lot of people wouldn't realize about this thing is it comes with a USB cord. Now, why would that be the case? Well, first of all, you can not only eject this SD card and put it into your computer and export files that way, you can also transfer files via USB to your computer, which is awesome to have. Another thing is this thing doesn't only act as a recorder itself, it can also act as an audio interface. So you don't have to go out and spend hundreds of dollars on some complex mixer. If you're an audio guy, you know what I'm talking about. You can go out, get one of these things. This will act as an audio interface, so you can actually record to something like Audacity or GarageBand with this thing. So you can either record to this, or you can record to your computer directly. That's part of the capabilities that this has. One more thing that I wanted to cover is if you're planning on doing a lot of Skype interviews, this is one of the coolest things about this Zoom, in my opinion. If you're planning on doing a lot of Skype interviews with your podcast, one of the things you can do with this thing is, and we've actually yet to do any Skype interviews, but we got one coming up, so we're going to use this. One thing you can do is plug the directional mic into the top here, right? Now, as we just saw, this will actually record from here, right? You can record from here straight to the Zoom. But upon further investigation, if you were to look at this little mic, turn it on its side, it's actually got an auxiliary port there. So, what a lot of people won't tell you, and you would have to figure this out on your own otherwise, because there's not a lot of people out there talking about this, is if you take a auxiliary to auxiliary cord, it's the kind of cord you would use to listen to music in your car, right? You plug it into your stereo and you plug it into your phone. If you don't have Bluetooth, you plug it into here, and then you plug it into, say, I don't know, a laptop or a computer. The output auxiliary jack on the computer, it'll switch from recording from here, and it'll take the audio input from whatever source you have it connected to. So, what could this be used for? It could be used for Skype. If you are doing a Skype interview, you can take the audio from Skype. You don't have to mess around with any Skype recorder that you can download on your PC. All of that will just fall by the wayside when you have this thing, because if you plug it in here and you plug it into your computer, you can record not only your audio from your headsets or whatever you have hooked up here, but it will act as the input for this source as well. So that's amazing. That's an amazing capability, and honestly, I cannot think of anything that this thing does not cover. You have the option to do Skype recordings. You have the option to do, portable recordings. You have the option to do any recording you want. So that's just another little tip and trick that I wanted to show you guys. If you're thinking about doing Skype recording and you're looking for options as far as that goes, this thing has got you covered.
All right, what's going on, guys? We're going to cover a couple things with you right now, just showing you how versatile this setup is. We've got the Zoom H6. We're going to plug our mics in. We can record right here on location where we're at right now. Sometimes Absolutely. We're on the road and we need to record, and this is a perfect setup. I mean, like Dustin has been talking about, the H6 is absolutely incredible, and we're getting that studio sound quality right now in the car, out and about in the middle of nowhere. And let's go ahead and turn the air off for you guys real quick, unless, and in case that's too loud for you guys. It's a little warm out here today, so
yeah, and we'll definitely give you samples of the quality as well.
Exactly, exactly.
It's amazing what you can do with this thing. It's crazy.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yep. Let's go outside. We'll show you exactly what we're talking about with the sound quality.
All right, guys. So this is going to act as an audio test. The difference between the headset and the camera mic.
Correct. So what you're hearing right now is the audio coming from the camera, and we're going to switch it over right now. This is what you're hearing from Audio Technica's and the H6 Zoom.
Right. This is it. This is all we have. All of these are connected right to the H6.
Whole setup.
It's completely battery powered. We don't have to worry about any power source whatsoever, and it gives us studio quality sound outside. As you can see, we're outside right now, and it's amazing. It's amazing.
It's absolutely incredible. This is hands down the best piece of equipment that we've got, that we've invested in for podcasting. So if you guys are wanting to go on the road, you're wanting to go out to events, whatever it is, invest in this. You've got to do it.
Absolutely. So we'll switch right back over to the camera sound right now.
And as you can hear, it's a lot different.
Totally different. Totally different.
So we just wanted to give you a actual physical representation of this, so you could hear the difference in the sound. It's amazing.
It really is incredible. And like you're talking about in the beginning of this video, just all of the different things that this thing can do, acting as an audio interface, as a mixer. And you can actually, did you touch on the muting of the lines, actually?
Touch on the muting?
Yeah.
As you can, I showed them this.
Okay.
You can select your line in here.
Perfect. On these here, these switches.
Oh, no, I did not.
So what you guys can do is you can actually mute your mic right from the H6. So these switches here, you can actually mute your lines. So so you got a sneeze or whatever, you can go ahead and mute your line real quick.
Yep.
Get your sneeze on, unmute, and you're good to go. So it's a pretty rad setup.
Definitely.
I totally just remembered that bit of that capability that it has too, because these mics don't have a mute setting or anything like that you can mute from your mic, which would be really cool. But I mean,
this is just as good.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, just as amazing.
Just the versatility of this thing is amazing.
Absolutely incredible.
You guys continue watching the rest of the course down below. The next video you'll be able to check out, and then we have a series of other ones after that. We hope you've enjoyed this video, and enjoy the rest of the course.